What happens when a cold murder case frozen for nearly 5 decades suddenly explodes back to life, and the only man charged with the ancient crime is a dying, retired cop whose final wish is to have his name cleared before his time runs out? In Unfinished Business, the electrifying and deeply atmospheric 18th installment of Sheldon Siegel's critically acclaimed Mike Daly-Rosie Fernandez legal thriller series, the past and present violently collide on the fog-swept streets of San Francisco. The nightmare traces its roots back to Christmas Eve in 1978, when a young man named Luther Johnson was gunned down in the city's notorious Hunters Point neighborhood, leaving behind a pristine crime scene, a vanished weapon, and zero answers. While the original investigators quickly brushed it off as a routine drug-related street crime, Luther's father, the legendary, fiercely determined SFPD homicide inspector Roosevelt Johnson, suspected a far darker reality, that a fellow police officer pulled the trigger. For almost 50 years, the case sat frozen in time, an open wound of systemic corruption, until a routine cleanup in the garage of retired officer Kevin Sullivan unearths a forgotten box of 1970s-era ammunition that perfectly matches the ballistics markings on the slugs that killed Luther. Now 87 years old and fueled by a lifetime of unresolved grief, Roosevelt steps out of retirement to lead the revived investigation himself, swiftly arresting the terminally ill Sully and watching the district attorney slap him with a first-degree murder charge. Paralyzed by an aggressive cancer diagnosis and facing a public lynching in the media, Sully makes a desperate, unexpected final request. He wants a public defender. In a shocking twist of professional integrity, Roosevelt approaches Mike Daly, the son of his own former beat partner, and begs him to take on Sully's defense, not to let him off the hook, but to make sure we get it right. With only a matter of days before a high-stakes preliminary hearing, Mike assembles his elite, fiercely loyal legal strike team, his brilliant ex-wife and co-chief of the felony division, Rosie Fernandez, Rosie's razor-sharp niece Rolanda, a rising star in the public defender's office, and Mike's street-smart brother Pete, an ex-cop turned private investigator. But navigating this ancient investigation is like walking through a psychological minefield. Almost every original witness is long dead, the physical evidence has decayed, and every living player, including the defendant and the legendary cop who arrested him, is guarding deeply buried secrets they have carried for half a century. Siegel balances his signature authentic courtroom tension and sharp legal maneuvering with a rich, nostalgic San Francisco backdrop and a healthy dose of sly humor, creating a breathless, fast-paced puzzle that will leave audiobook listeners completely spellbound, white-knuckling their headphones as Mike and Rosie race against a ticking clock to settle a lifetime of unanswered questions before a dying man takes the truth to his grave.